Israelites were swept up And transition. What is up, everybody? How you doing? It is.
Oh, chomp, chomp. It's Shark Week, baby. We're doing sharks, right? It's Shark Night. I forgot my shark head, but this is great white, blue, dolphin. I don't know. We're doing sharks. That's a nice theme, right?
It's so tonight's Friends Night. Uh,
That's right, friends.
I was trying to figure out how we could do. Why is that going through my computer audio? My computer audio should be B.
Dun dun dun. It wouldn't be Drink and Think Trivia if you weren't here having technical difficulties. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Drink and Think Trivia, where Douglas,
Damn it.
our wonderful, beautiful editor, manager, and CEO, runs the stream. And what happens is he does a dumb. And when he does a dumb, you either, one, don't hear the trivia, two, don't see the trivia, or three, both. As of right now, I think you're getting all of those, and he's just unhappy with how you're receiving your media. So that's good.
Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, never mind. It's what's being picked up?
All right. Anyway, hello and welcome to Drink and Think Trivia. It is the last Thursday night of the month, and with that comes our wonderful, amazing, beautiful theme night. As you all know, that theme is Friends, the wonderful television show that every person has at least one time or another obsessed and watched every episode on Netflix, except me and Doug. But that's not important. We've watched enough of it. We know what's going on. We are here to support you as you share your wealth of knowledge to us. Correct, Doug? Yeah, that's it?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, cool.
I don't know what's going on currently because
We've broke his brain. Kim apparently loves her name. We'll check the leaderboard out here in a minute because I got to see what my bungholes did. If you're new here, we have a beautiful family, and they are usually a version of the bunghole for the night. So you're playing against Princess Bunghola Banna Hamcock, or Joey Tribabunghole, or the Bunghole perk. So, yeah, they're out there and they do that thing, and we don't judge them for it. The one where they play trivia. I'm so proud of you. You nailed it. Yes, no, we're well aware of the theme of the show. So anyway, thanks for coming and hanging out. Doug is still technicaling because you can see it in his eyes as he gazes from side to side. We'll start off with announcements. I don't think we have any really big ones. Like I said, this is the last Thursday night, so you're already here at the theme night. We have 48 questions, I believe. 8 rounds apiece. 6 rounds? 6 rounds of 8 questions. Good Lord. I got there. One day I'll remember it. We won't have to do this. The big news, as usual, is that we, in August, is it August, Doug? August is
September.
September, there it is.
September 20-something.
And September 20-something is SporkleCon. We will be there. It's actually on an official calendar on their website now. Drink and Think is locked in for their time slot on Saturday, but we'll be doing stuff all 3 days, most likely streaming, activities, probably just being dum-dums, because that's what we like doing. If you want to attend that event, there is a discount code that I just linked into Discord. It will get you your minus monies there.
That's fine.
If you do get a chance to be that way, or you live in the DC area, Saturday is going to be our biggest day. So if you can only come one day, that's the day. Let's see, Doug. Anything else going on in our life?
I think that's about it as far as announcements goes. For those of you who have not joined us before or have not played before, if you scan the top right QR code with either your phone, or there is a link for the search function, just look up Drink and Think, or with that code in the top right corner, you'll be able to play. Jeff McCarroll, whatever, you are good to go.
Sweet. Found it out.
Yeah. So, if you want to play, right now, just looking at the leaderboard, the bungholes know how to play it, but you have Officer, Good Bodies, Last Dance, April and Sean, Transporter Bong, the one where they play trivia, and Chandler's a Girl. If you are one of those teams, you are successfully in right now.
You've done it.
Huzzah! I really would like to know why My output is going
Anyway,
to.
so he's detoured again, but there's
It's fine. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, there's a link
there's
in
a link in the Twitch chat as well that can get you there if you want to play in your browser instead of using your mobile device. All of those will take you to the thing. You create your team. The questions will pop up on there. All you're literally doing here, yeah, I was gonna ask you where the "Don't be a dick" sign was. He got it.
On my
If you don't want to listen to our beautiful, sultry voices, we're just here to ask you questions and act like dum-dums. But as long as you have that app in any spot, you'll be able to read the questions and answer. It will keep track of the score, and all will be lovely and amazing. All right, so that's the technical jargon, I believe.
Yep.
Is there anything I forgot? All right, so it's rule time. Is it rule time?
I believe it's rule time.
Ugh. What's rule number 1?
Rule number 1. Don't be a dick.
That's why we needed a sign. We are so sometimes dumb. We needed a sign.
Doug has been struggling for the last little bit, so yeah.
In fact, we are so kind of dumb. Doug, what's rule number 2?
Don't be a dick. It's pretty easy.
It's twice. We needed the same rule twice.
Yeah, if you guys are curious what "don't be a dick" means, ask yourself the question: if I'm doing this, would people call me a dick if I got caught? And if you say yes to that question, then don't do it. So if you're asking yourself, well, does that mean that cheating is legal? Or can we do it? See rule number 1 or rule number 2.
See, Doug, I cheated on my quiz in the 3rd grade. What would that make me?
A dick?
That's correct. I was a tiny little dick. Let's see what else.
Always...
I made fun of people in high school, Doug. What would that make me?
Makes you a dick.
I kind of ran a guy over on the way to work this morning. Nope, we're not going to talk about that one. Nope. That's more than being a dick. If you have to ask yourself, you are the dick. Don't do it.
So, yeah, can we not admit to felonies on the stream, please?
Sorry, it was a joke. I promise. Please, FBI, NSA, double FTUXL acronym. Please don't come get me. I don't know what that one is.
Hashtag that little AE symbol, whatever. I don't know.
The Watcher Eye. I promise. It wasn't me.
Well, so that also brings us to rule number 3, though, which is you do you, boo-boo.
That's right.
Let your freak flag fly. Be you. We are accepting of all comers. We do not care who you are, what you are, or how you identify. We just want to have a good time. That's all we're here
Unless
for.
you identify as a dick, in which case we have a slight problem.
Yeah, sorry about that. We are discriminatory towards one type of person.
D-deek.
So, as far as cheating goes, we do have a system in Triv now where if you navigate away from the app while a active question is going, so if we hit the ask button and there's a timer going, and you really just need to check Facebook, don't do it, because that will mark you as cheating, and while we'll let 1 or 2 go, past that, it starts getting a little suspicious that every single one you're getting marked, then we might have to say something. So, just don't do it.
Basically, you'll get a warning. After your warning, we'll start taking points away from you. So you'll look at your thing and go, I answered the question correctly, and Doug and Lucas will be like, stop going and doing other things while you answer the question correctly.
Yep.
Basically.
We can only do something for so long before we're like, yeah, this is a pain in the butt.
Or, be like my wife and just have 2 separate devices, one on which you are playing trivia and the other one on which you are watching television or surfing Facebook or doing the other thing. But why wouldn't you want to be here? Why wouldn't you want to enjoy the joy and amazingness that is us?
Pretty much.
Yes, we're well aware you do what you want.
Last but not least, I guess this kind of would have gone under announcements. Over the course of this month, we have stopped streaming our game playing afterwards. So if you want to play games with us afterwards, if there's enough of us, we play like Jackbox or Rift Tracks, the game, things like that. You have to join our Discord to be able to play because we just play it all within our little community now. We never set out to chase the metrics, but it needs to be done. So if we don't have enough people, Lucas and I will play Fall Guys, and we'll just yell really loud and be well, what we're always when
You
we
know,
play Fall
well,
Guys.
We'll do what our other video game stream nights do, which is play a game together and generally be funny. I think we're funny.
I think we're funny, but I think
There we go.
that's also very
That's possibly subjective, but not important.
well. So that is the
That's a
think
whole lot.
aspect.
That's a whole lot of thinking.
That's a whole lot of thinking. Let's get to the drinking part. I am starting with. I mean, I'm starting with Coors Light, but that's my pregame drink that I haven't gotten to yet. But I will be drinking Fightin' Hokie from Hardywood. It's a good beer. I'll just leave it at that. And I got in a fight today. I had to vent about this for just a second.
Wait, hold on, wait. You got in a fight today?
Oh, it was an internet fight, so you know.
Ah, that's fair.
I hate making this joke, but it's too hilarious. And yes, we make offensive jokes here. But arguing online is like racing in the Special Olympics.
Oh.
Even if you win, you're still special. So
That's true.
there was
That's true.
I don't know if anyone watches Ben Brainerd. He's a comedian who does this thing called Welcome to the Table, and it's essentially a personification of like the government interacting with states. And of course, Florida Man is just chaos incarnate and everyone else. And so they did Virginia, and the Virginia personification was like, we have tons of colleges here, and they're like, well, what's a Hokie? And they're like, I am. And immediately my brain went to, I remember when they pushed that campaign out, and every student was like, oh, they're not serious. That's hilarious. They're not serious at all. Oh my God, they put it on shirts. Like, this is
Oh my
stupid.
God, it's on a shirt.
No one is ever going to answer that question. And then, well, way back previous, every school who's ever faced us has decided that Hokie is a term for a gelded or castrated turkey, which it is not. People are like, oh, the 1930s turkey farmers said that. No, they didn't. It's called a capon. I looked up that word today. It's a CAPON, and it's a castrated or gelded poultry in general, and they do it because there's more fat on that bird than there would be if they weren't. I guess the testosterone does something to the meat that they just need to kill a rooster off. Anyway, got in this fight because, of course, everyone's talking shit, and I'm like, yeah, actually, it's a nonsense word made up for a contest, yada, yada, yada. And I got slammed by like 9 different people. I live in insert bumfuck nowhere, Virginia. I know what a Hokie is. And the funny part was every single city that they listed was in like Northwest Virginia. And I'm like, you're closer to JMU, GMU, UVA. Like,
Not Southwest.
not Southwest. But anyway, that's my rant today. I had to get that out because that's been bubbling all day.
I didn't start in Hokie Land. I joined Hokie Land by the time I got there, and they told me I was a Hokie when I got there, and I just choose to believe it was a turkey because our mascot looks like a turkey. And I'm okay with that. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I like turkeys. Turkeys are great. That's why
Let's not get into the origins of our mascot, but
we get to pardon the dang national turkey every year. So you know what? That's stuff a thing we do.
Do you know where the turkey went the last year of Trump's presidency?
I don't remember exactly what happened.
Purdue. They sent it to Purdue. Yeah.
I think me and you and Allie need to have a fight.
Yep, I think so
And
too.
I can't hit Allie. Actually, you can't either. That's domestic.
so we'll hit each other and just get it out. It'd
Or
be like
just stare at her.
it'd be like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Anyway, we have put a lot of time. What are you drinking tonight?
It's Bold Rock. It is their premium dry, and as you know, some days I like to do the pour thing. And I was talking just hopefully so the mic would get the crack, but I'm gonna get my arm out of there because it's gonna cause a spill. We have our. It's Rocket Frog. It can't be looking at me and you guys see. I got it. Let's go.
You have to turn it to a 90-degree angle when you drink it though, so that when you put it up, it's just. So for any of you in
All right,
Virginia, for any of you in the Virginia area, we do have one in-person trivia right now. That is at Rocket Frog Brewing. They are in Sterling, Virginia, if you guys are aware of the area. For those of you who are not and ever fly through Dulles Airport, it is a 10-minute ride from Dulles Airport to Rocket Frog. If you ever are there on a Thursday, come on out and check out Mitch. He's our in-person host. So With that, I think we have held them off long enough. Do we want to get started?
Let's do the one where they ask the trivia questions. Let's go.
Just make sure when you answer your questions, these are on a timer. Just make sure when you answer your questions, you hit submit. A bunch of people don't do that. And they're like, well, I answered the question. It didn't count as right. Well, no, you have to hit the answer you think is correct and then hit submit. Letting you know right now.
Also, if you don't receive credit for something and you think you should, you can point it out to us. We will review it.
Yeah, we
will attempt to give you your points. We are not the
we don't violate we don't violate rule number 1.
Yeah, because we're not dicks.
Yeah. So I want you to say question number 1.
It is Friends. General knowledge. Basically, it can be anything simple and basic about Friends to get kicked it off. But whatever. What year did Friends premiere?
Dicker Jeeves. Wow, someone was Johnny on the spot with that one.
I think what I like is that it took us one Friends question to reference South Park. I
mean, the plan originally was how do we incorporate Shark Week into Friends trivia. I would, if I had known ahead of time, I would have bought the shark onesie and just worn that.
I thought about getting some shark outfit because me and Kim watch Shark Week on the regular during Shark Week. It's one of our big things we do together. And it dawned on me this morning that it was Shark Week and we were doing a theme night during the week. I was so extremely disappointed.
Yeah, that's kind of upsetting that we had that. We had that opportunity.
That's a bunghole we recognize, but
yeah,
Monica
fine.
Geller bunghole. Binghole? Binghole. Oh, I like that. That is your first warning. It said you were navigating. But we do know our bungholes rather well.
We do.
All right. How many teams?
13. It looks like that is a.
Good Lord, you nerds!
I don't know who the 13th team is. That hasn't answered yet, so we're gonna. I mean, I guess I can click the little ghost anyway, but all answers are in, I guess. All right, so they answer.
It premiered in 1994, September 22nd to be exact. So Tiny Lucas was what? October, November, December, 3-4 months away from being 5 years old when Friends premiered.
I was on my way to 5, so that I would have been 7
4 months out of 5. You were like 4 and a third or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, close enough. I had not realized that was that long ago. I definitely would have went with 96.
Yeah, I was having this conversation earlier with a guy who was born in 94. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, I don't consider myself a 90s baby. It was like, well, you're born in 94. Why wouldn't you consider yourself a 90s baby? He's like, because I didn't really gain sentience until the end of the 90s, so I didn't get to experience, like, most of the 90s. Like, well, 97, 3 years old is when you normally start forming memories, so...
Let's say,
you got
3 is what I thought, too.
You got like 3 good years out of it. Why are you not a 90s baby? He's like... Honestly, because I was still watching, like, Blue's Clues, and that ran into 20... Like, that's still running, so that's not a 90s show. I was like, that's fair. Okay.
You know me. I consider myself an 80s baby, and I lived in the 80s for 4 days.
Yeah.
So, I was 4 days old when the 80s ended.
Well,
second question, dude. What we got?
Which friend was cast first? So, of the characters, which one was cast first?
Interesting. Things that we learn. Yeah, no, I just like the things of the 80s. The more I reflect back, I was thinking about this the other day, speaking of the 90s. I'm starting to get nostalgic about things from the 90s. I'm starting to remember, like, Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Ooh, yeah.
And,
wait, here's a Friends destroying question. Who was your Legends of the Hidden Temple team?
I was a fan of the I like the Blue Barracudas. I think everybody I think a lot of people like the Blue Barracudas. But I'm trying to remember all the teams because I picked a different one. I always like to be indifferent. I didn't like popular things. It's one reason why I didn't pull for Michael Jordan, even though I was an NBA fan when I was a kid. So
the 6 teams were Red Jaguars, Blue barracudas,
no, I
green
hate red.
monkeys, orange iguanas, purple parrots, and silver snakes.
I think I liked the silver snakes, but I also hated snakes. So I probably, oddly enough, I probably stuck with the blue barracudas on this one, even though it was a popular team.
I was definitely a silver snakes like fan, and that was just because of the color. And then I recently
I
learned
like that, but I don't like snakes.
I recently learned. See, that's the difference. Like, I hate spiders. Like snakes, I can handle.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I don't mind
Yeah.
snakes. Spiders, on the other hand, like no. Anyway, but like I learned that they have the lowest winning percentage of any team in the history. I was like, that sounds about right.
I think what I always remembered was that I always wanted to be on the show because I felt like people didn't strategize. Like they'd come up to the final round and you could give like your first person both medallions. You had two. As long as you could win two medallions, you could win the game.
Yeah.
And all you had to do was send your first team member in with both the medallions, and they sprint as hard as they can through the whole thing and try to find the temple guards. You hand off your invulnerability medallions, and then your other teammate comes in, and he has nothing to worry about, or she. They just run through and do the puzzles. And I mean, the puzzles were easy. Body, feet, head of a monkey, put it together. It's not complicated.
Well, the problem was.
Anyway, I digress.
So the answer is Ross Geller. And
this isn't a podcast about the 90s.
Rachel was actually Jennifer Aniston was the last one to be cast.
For some reason, I thought I knew that she was cast last, but I did not know Ross was first. According to IMDb, what is the highest rated, most loved Friends episode? This is an IMDb one. What's the most popular episode according to IMDb? The other show I was going to though, and the show that I liked more. Let's see, what was the dude? Hey Dude, the show about the kids who were at camp.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Because it was
I remember all the Nickelodeon shows.
It was the Hey Dude Ranch.
Yep.
There was also Salute Your Shorts.
Yeah, I never saw Salute Your Shorts.
There was a couple of camp ones. Like those were big because Heavyweights came out at that time too.
Yeah, I remember Heavyweights. Oh, Heavyweights.
I love that show, and that is just loaded with childhood stars that, aside from Kenan Thompson, Kenan Thompson, he was the only one who went on to like really do anything. Aside from one of the kids, Goldberg, was in the Mighty Ducks movie, and that was about it. And now he's a heroin addict or something. I don't know.
Oh god, that's crazy. Wasn't the bad guy in Heavyweights?
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
I think that's why they made his character in Dodgeball.
Yeah, it's
Like,
they're in the same universe.
Character. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he went from a fat kids camp to fat kids can't handle my intenseness. I'm gonna go do it to adults.
Dodgeball.
And he's straight up like, we're better than you. Like, oh, that was 100% Ben Stiller's character.
This is the road we're going down during the first round. It seems everyone's in. That was the one where everybody finds out. I don't know what that episode is about. Maybe Doug does.
I believe they find out that Chandler and Monica are dating at that point.
Yeah, Kim, you and Kim both said the same thing.
And the
I'm
GIF,
gonna go with that probably being right.
The GIF is appropriate because that's when Phoebe finds out because Monica and Chandler are having sex in Ross's apartment across the.
I remember that. I remember that part. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Which of these were not one of the kids born during the duration of the show? So, with Ross not being able to keep it in his pants, he had what, 2 kids? One with the lesbian, one with
Being his first wife, right?
Yeah. Was it one with? There wasn't one
Carol.
with Rachel.
How many kids did Ross have? She says 2.
2.
So she's in agreement with you. Who was his second kid with? Yep, with Rachel. So
Okay.
it was with Rachel.
But they had to hide hide her pregnancy for a little while.
There you go. One with Carol, one with Rachel. There you go.
What? Didn't his former wife ask for like his sperm or something? I feel like that was the thing. Like
that makes sense to me. Although that links me into a different show. There was another show where they were chasing after a sperm collection that they kept destroying. What show is that?
Community. or not Community.
That I haven't. No.
it's, the League and
Oh no! Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That was it.
Oh yeah.
Boyle's
Boyle.
sperm.
They take Boyle's sperm.
Oh, it was
keep trying to destroy it.
hostage negotiation.
We're not doing well.
The answer is Parker.
That's it. What is the name of Joey's boat? I didn't even know Joey had a boat.
For that price, that is definitely a 90s price, though.
Yes, it is. Back to our random 90s conversation. The show with the Crag. What was the game show where they... Global Guts. I always wanted to be on Global Guts. And then there was another Nickelodeon show that was like a giant... I remember watching it when I was really little. That was like a giant game show. It was outside. It wasn't...
No.
Might have been Double Dare. See, I remember Double Dare, but this one was outside, and it had giant teams in colors. And that's the thing that throws me. And I just can't place what that show was called, but it was a game show that was basically an team elimination thing. But,
so, like, every game I hate in Fall Guys.
Pretty much every game you hate in Fall Guys. That's actually a perfect way to describe it.
Yep. So the answer is...
The Mr. Baymont? I think that's how that's pronounced. I don't know.
Baymont.
That's a combination of letters that Lucas doesn't do good with. English hard.
That's Cajun. Beaumont, maybe?
Oh, I know I got it right there. You're going to say the Cajun, Mr. Beaumont. There you go.
How they spell Go Tigers. Still, I love...
Tiger.
I love doing it so much that it's Go Saints is the other one. And every time I go down to visit my mom, my aunt, uncle, or my grandmother, all on that side, they're all Saints fans. They're all Auburn fans. And I'm like, Gooks Tigers. And they're like, yeah, that's not how we sound. I'm like, that's how it's spelled.
You brought this upon yourself. You know that, right?
Oh, I'm very well aware.
The coach don't come in down here. We're going to go to LAU Tiger with the greatest football team in the world. We're going to take all your boy. We're going to go out on the football field. We're going to beat the LOS. Start out. We're going to go Sunday. We're going to go down to the big dome. We're going to watch the same play ball. Go Tiger. Let's go Tiger.
It's the Mud Dogs, though, you have to root for.
Oh, the Mud Dogs.
What scientific theory does Phoebe not believe in that Ross tries his best to convince her is real?
I'm so disappointed that Coach O fell off a cliff and went crazy and divorced his wife and is no longer coaching football.
I know, right?
That man gave the best interviews of all time.
That
Coach,
man.
what did you guys do today? We went out there. We played football.
That man sounded like he was drunk and high at all times and Cajun. And
with a cigar in his mouth.
Right. And for some reason, like, was just amazing at everything.
That team with Joe Burrow was nuts. And you can argue that it was the talent, and it was, but he got them all there.
LSU, as long as I remember, LSU has always been like that team. So Notre Dame, Ohio State, Michigan, like those are all, perennial. People will remember them forever because they're like historic. But I feel like LSU is in that conversation for like its roots. Like LSU has not always been good, but they've always been historic. Alabama's the newcomer. Like, yes, it's been since like what, 04 they've been.
No. You gotta give Bear Bryant. Because of Bear Bryant, Alabama gets, for me, they get the nod for one of the perennial greats. Because they won titles back then fell off, and then came back. If you want a newcomer argument, it's Clemson. Clemson to me is the only team in the current era.
Well, Clemson's our era, because they didn't get big until our game against them.
They beat Tech, in the ACC tournament championship. But they're the only team that, I know, right? That like, I mean, you could argue Tech did that, but Tech didn't sustain. Tech climbed in '99, peaked, stayed on a peak for a long time, but was never at that same peak, and then fell back off. Clemson,
it was this
trajectoried up and then down. Yeah. But like Clemson trajectoried up and has stayed there until last year. So anyway,
I can forgive them one off season, but the answer is evolution.
Yeah. I think they're going to be okay this year for sure. Yep, and it's doing the thing. What happens in the 100th episode? I was gonna build something else off what we were talking about. I don't remember what it was.
Perennial
I was trying-
powerhouse
to me-
teams.
To me, the only other team that like Clemson's done it. The only other team to me that has like built sustainable power has been Oregon. Oregon's constantly near the top 10 and has played in like 4 national championships in the last 20 years.
I would
They've
say
never won one, but
I would say the team that
they're good.
peaked and is on the down is Florida State.
I was gonna actually. You reminded me of that, and you know who I was gonna say that we all forget about is Boise State.
Boise State.
Boise State won a national championship with the Statue of Liberty, and were unreal good and beat us during our heyday by like a touchdown at FedEx.
It was less than a
In all
touchdown
honesty-
because it was 6
Yeah, I know.
points, and we were a first down away from having an
More.
undefeated season.
The thing is that if we had beat Boise State, I think the next week we don't lose to JMU, and Tech is potentially playing in a national championship that year because we were very
And-
good.
And we would have been playing against Alabama that year.
Would that have been against Bama? I think
Yep.
that's still early.
Nope, because we played Alabama as an opener the year before.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. But we had played. We were leading them in the fourth quarter, as I recall, and then Trent Richardson decided he wanted to play more football.
Wait,
And he
my
wrecked
name's
all
Trent Richardson. Why me do this? Me win game, and then he
We
went.
win game, we no lose.
And then he went and won the game. That's
He did. They ran
That's-
for like 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter.
that was the Trent Richardson power in. If you ever played NCAA on the Xbox or PlayStation, like that was his power. If you played as him, you could just push a button and win.
The correct answer for our question, that would be the one where Phoebe gives birth to the triplets and Joey gets kidney stones.
I love how
like two
everyone listening to us is probably like, this ain't conversation
This
about friends.
isn't about friends.
Listen, I have probably collectively seen 20 episodes total.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fair.
All right, this is the last question. How this works is it is a free response, which means you have to type in the answer, but you also get to wager points. You can wager up to 7 points. So if you had a perfect round, you can put all your points on the table to try to win. The lowest score you can get is 0, though. So the final question is, what are the names of... What is the name? It should be what is the name of Joey's bedtime penguin pal?
There you go.
We did not write
So,
these questions, so...
Yep. 2010 Tech football team lost by 3 at FedEx Field to Boise State, the number 3 team in the nation at the time, 30-33. She had to come home and slump against JMU and then win the rest of the year with highlight wins against Florida State, Miami, and NC State, Florida State in the ACC championship. However, Doug, to be fair in this
to be
argument,
fair,
we got our asses kicked by Stanford in the bowl game, who was the number
Yeah.
5 team in the nation at the time. Andrew Luck was like, "Lol, I throw to tight end."
how was it that we played the entire season and no one figured out the strategy to beat Tech was throw to the tight end? Like,
Here's the problem. Teams probably figured that out, but Tech could cover 1 tight end. As I recall, Stanford had like 4 tight ends that were NFL tight ends next year that were all 6'5" and all weighed like 240 that could also run like a 4.5 40. Because he would just lob it over the top to a tight end and then they just jog down the field. And our defense, which was unreal, just ran away.
that's
We were ranked 12th in the nation. Also, you nailed it. The title game was between Bama and Texas that year, with Mac Brown undefeated, and they beat them by 14, 37-21. That's your college football knowledge for the round. Doug, tell me what the name of...
that
our
would be Hugsy or Mr. Hugsy.
So, if you wrote Mr. Hugsy, we gave you credit. Although I
Alright.
do like the person in here who wrote Maurice, because I know what that is. It's a monkey.
Yep. All right. Well, it's also Joey's imaginary friend, and his job was Space Cowboy.
Things you learn.
All right. Here is the leaderboard. In first place, we have Ross Champs with 26.7. Transporter Bong with 25.7. Officer Goodbody's Last Dance, 20.27. April and Sean in fourth. Chandler's a Girl. Regina Phalange. Princess Bunghola Banana Hammock. Chandler Binghole. Bunghole Perk. The one where they play trivia. Not Ratcham. Racham?
Not Rachel.
Not Racham. Monica Geller Binghole. Wait, do we have two? We have Chandler Binghole and Monica Geller Binghole. Okay, they must be playing
Those
together.
are two different people.
Joey Tribid and Regina Phalange again, but this one's spelled with one G instead of, or an A instead of an I, and one G instead of two. All right.
Okay, cool. So we'll move on to the second round, which is fears and pet peeves. I don't know. What year did Joey first put the turkey on his head to try to scare Chandler? So the year that this happened in. I presume it's not the episode. I'm guessing that it's chronologically what year it happened in. Or maybe
Yeah,
it's definitely not. Yeah, it's chronologically because the show
Yeah.
didn't premiere till 90. Yeah,
I think it started in 90.
94 is what we were told. So when did
Yeah.
the show, in theory, well, it premiered? In
Oh,
94.
it's a flashback. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
So,
it could have happened in any of these years.
Eve.
Geef. The one where they play trivia.
That's
Eve.
them all.
That's them all. I got them all in too. The correct answer here was in 1992. In season 5, you had a flashback, the one with all the Thanksgivings, but it is a flashback. That's why it's earlier. All right.
Which of these was one of the names of Phoebe's unique paintings?
Yeah, in fairness, Phoebe's things are loosely called paintings.
Yep. Just like her songs are loosely called songs. Although she did have one that was produced.
Smelly Cat?
Smelly Cat. Watch that be a question now, and I'm gonna...
Hey, if it is, if something like Smelly Cat made it into this quiz and you and I know it, that's a free point for you guys. Because we don't know a lot of what's going on. So if we know that, it's all yours. I'm currently trying to figure out what the name of that game show was that I remember from my childhood.
No, Smelly Cat
Remember
is
there
not
being
an
a
answer
lot of-
tonight. What do you know?
Good. Good. We didn't ruin something, which
Well-
is amazing. Normally we do.
So the answer is Gladys. There were two of them. There was Gladys and Glynis.
The next question. What animal creeps Rachel out, and yet ironically, she had one as a pet growing up? I think I understand what the theme of this round is now. Is that how you spell pet in pet peeves?
I have no
I
idea.
mean, I assume that was the play on words, but I think that's also the way you spell it, so. Things you learn.
Huh.
Let's see.
Yep, that's how you spell it.
See? Things you learn. That's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. That's what me and Doug do. Every Thursday night we learn something, or we brag about something we already know. The correct answer this is a turtle. I was trying to wait, hold on. Isn't that the turtle? Isn't there an
But that was-
remember that, thank you. That's where I was trying to get to.
or is it? It's like that.
I think it's two fists, but in my head I was thinking of
Oh, awkward turtle is you just do one.
yeah, awkward turtle, and when we bump hard hats in in rock quarry, they call that two turtles having sex, I think. I don't know why, and you know, we're weird people. Moving on.
Chandler hates dogs. What was the name of the dog that Phoebe was hiding in his and Monica's apartment? 1 second, I'll be right back.
Oh, so as Doug has wandered off, I remember what the name of my show is, so now you're going to hear more 90s rant, because apparently that's the theme of the night for me. I would be Wild and Crazy Kids. Wild and Crazy Kids had a bunch of kids in pastel uniforms running around and doing game showy stuff. think I watched. It was only on for 3 years, from 90 to 92, and yet I somehow remember watching it almost every evening when I was a kid. So probably means that I watched a whole bunch of reruns of Wild and Crazy Kids. Let's see. So we are hiding a dog in his and Monica's apartment that Phoebe was hiding. Oh, of course. Bet that episode was hilarious, dear. This GIF is hilarious, and I enjoy it a lot. I just want Doug and I. The correct answer here is Clunkers. Clunkers is the dog that's being hidden. The next question is, what candy does Joey leave all over the apartment? So now we're to the pet peeves part. What candy does Joey leave all over the apartment? All I want in life, I think, besides to have a wonderful relationship with my beautiful wife, is for Doug and I to share the same energy that Chandler and Joey have. Because we talked about it today, and the bromance between those two gentlemen, quite possibly, and if you disagree with me, keep it out there, I think the bromance between Chandler and Joey is one of the greatest bromances of all time. I was thinking about it, trying to put it together. Actually, I asked him that, and I figured he was Joey, because I could play a better Chandler, but he said we're probably both mostly Joeys.
Yep.
With a little dash of Chandler.
I would say both of us are loud, reactive, don't share food.
Like meat.
And
it also could be in underwear commercials. I mean, nailed it.
Nailed it.
I mean, look at this physique. You can only see my shoulders, but it's beautiful.
I'd be in plus size model, but it's fine.
You be my plus size model. The correct answer is Rolos. I figured out the show, Doug. You have your headset on?
Yeah.
It was Wild and Crazy Kids.
Oh shit! I do
But
remember
Wild
that
and
now.
Crazy Kids was apparently on for like 2 years or 3 years, 90 to 92, and I remember watching it constantly as a kid. So I must have watched the reruns of Wild and Crazy Kids.
I remember it being on a lot more than that because
Right?
I wouldn't have watched it until 94, 95.
Yeah,
So it had to
exactly.
be just reruns constantly.
It came back in 2002, apparently, which is weird. But yeah, no, that's what I remember. I remember Wild and Crazy Kids.
How many categories of towels does Monica have? This is in the episode where they have the quiz show for the apartment.
I love her.
The only reason I know that though
Courtney
is
Cox. There we go.
the only reason I know that is it shows up on TikTok all the time where they're like, who's this good at trivia? And they like show that scene. I'm like, neither of them are good at trivia. They're both good at knowing each other. Like that's very different.
That's a fair point. And everybody was apparently locked in on that. So what was the correct answer?
11. They name off everyday use, guest fancy. They get to like 5 of them, and then they're like 11. Screw it.
Which word bothers Chandler so much when pronounced incorrectly that he broke up with a girl over it once? And as we all know, this word for me would be Appalachia.
I would pick
Kim
up a
pronounced
similar-
that incorrectly, or we would get divorced, and she knows this as she rolls her eyes. Married for 5 years, I can make that joke. Doug, we've been married for 5 years in December.
That. What?
Someone the other day, literally, one of my friends at work was like, yeah, me and my wife are going on our 1 year anniversary. And I went, yeah, wait a minute. It's been 5 years. How long we've been together? We've been together since 2012. So it's a decade.
Yeah, Allie and I were talking about. So WrestleMania is going to be in Philly in 2024.
Nice.
And she's like, April 2024, that's the weekend of the wedding. And I was like, no, that is the year after the weekend of the wedding. So it'll be our 1 year anniversary. And, honey, I love you, but if tickets are cheap enough, I'm going to WrestleMania. That is a 3-hour trip.
My favorite part of mine and Kim's anniversary is it's December the 2nd, and it's the ACC Championship for football every year. And I'm always like, you realize that if Tech makes it to the ACC Championship, that's our anniversary present. We are going to watch them play football. And she likes it. That's my favorite part of it, is that she's in.
So the year we got spanked by Clemson twice and then went to the Sugar Bowl,
To the Super Bowl. Yeah.
To the
that
Super
was-
Bowl. My parents were so confident Tech was going to the ACC championship, they bought tickets
bought the
in
tickets.
week 3.
Now, to be fair,
To
they
be
are
fair.
extremely cheap. My old boss used to buy ACC championship tickets because they were in Charlotte and they were super cheap if you bought them early. But anyway, proceed.
Oh, they spent $45 each, and they were on the 45, maybe 20 rows up. And I was like, how? So like they texted me during the game like, oh, you should come down to this section and say hey when you get your break after halftime, because I was in the band time. I was like, all right, cool, yeah. I went down there and I was like, how'd you get such good like seats? Like that's amazing. And they're like, it's like $90. What are you talking about for 2 of us? I was like, I am. And then we went to the Sugar Bowl, and like, if we had known you were going to New Orleans, we would have bought tickets. We would have gone to the Sugar
love
Bowl
that.
instead.
Dude, that Sugar Bowl was great. I'm pretty sure that me and you did like a power hour every day.
I don't remember being sober. On like
I did a lot of power hours.
we
'cause
got-
I was trying at that time to practice for Century Club, so I would literally get up and we get ready to go to Bourbon Street, and I'd do a power hour.
I vaguely remember 3 things. I remember getting to the. So I remember the trip down. Like that was I was a bus captain. I was very drunk bus captain. But I remember getting down there. I remember the night in Birmingham, whatever. I remember hitting Bourbon Street for the first time. I remember the fleur-de-lis dropping in whatever square that is. And I remember running into Dave on Bourbon Street with his wife and the head of the music department at that time and his wife. And us just making eye contact and be like, nope. And we both did a
Nope.
180 and went the other way. And we're like, yep. That's all I
Then I
remember.
Then I remember the football game.
I do not remember that.
I remember a post-football game because that was me and you walking back to the hotel together
That's right. Yep.
and threatening to kick any Michigan-ass person that we saw along the way because we were that mad about the catch.
And then randomly one of them was like, good job. And we're like, okay, thanks.
Super nice. I was like, thank you. The correct answer for our question was supposedly, pronounced supposedly. And also, this was where I was first introduced to Friends. That was the tangent I was going to go on, was the pivot thing. I think the first Friends thing I ever saw was Kim showing me this scene in the game. Pivot! Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Pivot, pivot, pivot. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Shut up, shut up!
That is the one thing I will say that I think we both can claim as Chandler is we hit that point where if you cross the threshold, we can't be held responsible for what we say.
I agree.
Like I will be as kind and courteous as I possibly can up to a point. And I mean you can talk to this about how I try to be diplomatic.
You do.
And I try like I'll try to bounce things off you like is this okay? How do I get this across?
Yeah.
And then there's those days where someone just pushes me a little too far, and I'm like, if you don't shut
And
the
that's it.
if you don't shut the fuck up, I'm going to bury my fist down your throat and pull your rectum out so that you no longer exist in this universe because you will just infinitely. Anyway, the last one of the evening, not of the evening, last one of the round. Wow, that's how many times is that gonna
We're
happen?
done for the evening. That's it.
Good night. 16 questions. What is Chandler's biggest fear according to the quiz episode?
So 2 things. First thing was I just had an idea while we were discussing New Orleans, and that's that we should do a power hour trivia night. Yes. Except it would be a power. What we have 48 questions because each question is supposed to be 45 seconds. So we would change everything to a minute, and it would be a shortened power. It'd be 48 minutes. Which I mean, we could take breaks in between.
We could do.
But I think we should set a timer.
We could do an
Actually,
entire 50-50
It'd be
night.
a century.
So we do 60
If we
seconds.
did a full normal trivia, it would be a century club basically. Because normal trivia takes us an hour and a half
ish.
if we stay on track
So if we kept
is rare.
hard to the timer.
to the rules. We take 2 drinks during every 2 drinks during every wager question, pretty much, give or take. A drink for every other question during the round. And then probably 2 drinks during the intermissions while we were just cutting up and joking or reading the scoreboard. I mean, basically, it would translate into 90. Oh God, I might get sick though. I haven't done a power hour in a long time. But actually, see, I think
Okay, hold on. Joey
I
Tribby
think we could do it for
Bunghole.
questions. Yeah.
Look at Joey Tribby Bunghole's answer.
Joey Trivia Bunghole.
I'd be scared of that too.
Yeah, I know, that's horrifying. I'll get to my second point after this because I gotta try to remember what it was now. But I think that's an interesting thought. But yeah, do like a whole 50-50 round, but do shots of beer like a power hour. I think that'd be really neat.
Oh yeah, we just do a 50-50. So instead of us doing, which I'm kind of sad that we haven't informed everyone, or we didn't inform Mitch that we needed a 50-50 round so that we could.
I'm guessing we didn't get one.
No, we didn't. So I think we have to have a different criteria for taking our drink tonight.
It's gonna have to be answer correctness or
I think
honestly,
either final score or percent correct on a final question, I think, is one of our
those are
two.
two good criteria. Or I mean, we want to reward you guys early so you can experience it. I would say most creative answer at question number 24. If we can get 4 to 5 answers that Doug and I chuckle at, because you probably won't know the answer to the free response, you win the shot.
That's-
I kind of like that one.
I feel like at that point, though, people will start answering incorrectly to try to get us to.
I know, Doug, but that's what they want.
That's
and
fair.
you give the people what they want.
That's fair. The answer is it's Michael Flatley's Lord of the Dance.
The Lord of the Dance.
I
Oh, hey, wait. The first answer got it right and didn't get credit.
gave it to him.
Okay, cool.
Um,
I'm glad you're paying attention.
what's the song we always sang in we drink and drink, 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 then we drink some more, we dance, sing, and laugh, or we dance and sing and fight until the early morning light, then we pass out, throw up, wake up, or throw up, pass out, wake up, and then we drink it once again. It's Da Vinci's Notebook, I know that much. But at the very end of the song, I always mix up those two. It's we're at the end with pain and toil we sing. If God should take me by the hand, we wish that he kills the cast of Riverdance and Michael Flatley too.
Is it sad that when you said that song we sing in college and I went, you don't always or hard.
So
Sometimes that's not right to do.
I'm very sad because that song will be on the do not play list at my wedding.
Yes, it is.
But
Oh, yeah,
but it will get sung afterwards because I don't want the hymn at my wedding, really.
What? No.
So no, we're not gonna sing the hymn. We're gonna sing that in a circle instead.
Oh, man. I love the hymn, though. But yeah, that's funny. That's funny, but I love the hymn, man. The
So
hymn-
we did that to Drew.
We did that at my wedding, right? We did do that, didn't we?
We did the hymn at
Jack
your
came
wedding.
outside. We did the hymn. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I have to forgot, because I remember doing it at Stevens.
Yeah. So we
and Jared and stuff.
at Drew's wedding, Jason was like, "Nah, fuck this. We're not doing the hymn." So we circled around with Drew and
Drew's wedding, they did something besides the hymn. Go ahead.
we started doing the swaying and we held the note and we started singing and you could just see on both their faces like our parents are in the room and we're like, we don't care.
What did you sing?
The unofficial chapter hymn.
The unofficial chapter hymn.
Don't always.
Okay. So you actually have done this before.
Oh,
okay.
multiple weddings. We did it at Kyle's wedding. We did it at Charlie's wedding. We did it at Drew's
so
wedding.
you've been doing it at the weddings I've missed. Okay, good.
We've been doing it since Drew's wedding, apparently. Because
I missed Charlie's. I didn't get an invite to Charlie or Kyle's, so missed those.
that
Oh,
was
well.
that was awkward because it was all the people I haven't seen since. Because it was like Nick and Steven and TJ, and I'm like, I haven't seen.
A long ago.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't seen any of you in forever. Like, where is the normal group?
Well,
Anyway.
we don't have to read the scoreboard. I've let it roll at least
that's
3
run
times
for a
during score
while.
time.
Yeah.
So if you don't know your score, there are ways to check it. On to the next round, which is Ancient History, which I'm assuming is about characters' backstories. So Which of these is not one of Monica's nicknames? And it is about characters' backstories. I like this. So far, I am very impressed with
I am.
a shout out on stream to Mitch, our host at Rocket Frog's fiance now. Wait for it, Marlena. I remembered. I've never met this person in real life, but Marlena wrote all these questions. She is a Friends buff, and sometimes, as you'll remember on Star Wars Night, when you put buffs of something together, they come up with stupid questions. Doug and I came up with some great questions for Star Wars Night, but we got a little too in the weeds at times and came up with some questions that were really, really dumb and hard.
A little strange.
Marlena has nailed this so far, in my opinion. The first 3 rounds have been great.
It's so, like, I think back about how I met Marlena, because I met Marlena before she was dating Mitch at Trivia.
Gotcha.
And she is a person who gets very flustered and is not okay with talking about sex at all. So
Okay.
I there were
That's
times,
a weird intro to the conversation, but proceed, Doug.
so I would bring up just like I like even random like, oh, I'll be like, oh yeah, we're getting fucked in the ass by like gas prices, or oh, we're getting fucked in the ass by like, you know, I'd rather blow a koala than, you know, just stuff like that. My normal like,
That Doug said.
yeah. And she would just turn beet red, and of course I immediately locked it on that. I'm like, ooh,
Oh, now I know.
hello, fishy. And so
Hello.
when she started dating Mitch, I started saying like, oh yeah, I know, we all love a good blowjob, isn't that right, Mitch? And then I would like make eye contact with her, and she would bury her head.
Oh God.
And then Mitch would just try to embarrass her more. He'd be like, oh no, she doesn't do that. Or, oh no, it's all teeth. Or, oh, like, would just make it so much worse. And she
Oh,
would
God.
start laughing so hard she would cry and snort. And she has gone from this person who can't be in the spotlight at all to writing questions for us, which I think is just awesome.
That's great. The correct answer here is Mona. You know, that's neat.
What did people call her in high school when she played goalie? Big fat goalie.
Big fat
What did PBS send Phoebe when she wrote to Big Bird about her mom's death?
Trying to think about the other thing. So it was Power Hour Trivia Night. That was thing 1. Thing 2 was totally unrelated. Damn it.
Don't know.
Damn it. Oh well. I'll remember it later. No, we definitely need to do that though. But I like the idea. It's either a % correct round, which I think people are pretty much nailing. As I'm looking at, let's go back and look at the asked questions. 50%, 58, 68, 70, 54, 85, 50, 42, 23, 77, 15, 46, 85, 69, nice, 62, 38, 85. So far, asking for somewhere in the 60% correct range is not unfeasible.
No.
Other than the free response. So, I would argue that 60% correct across the round except for the free response. And then if you guys get under 50%, someone at least has to meme their answer hard enough to make us laugh. I think that's a good way to go with it.
That's fair.
So you got to beat 60% on all your questions. Take your time and get them right. Instead of a speed round tonight, we want a brain round. We want you to use your mind.
Or,
Yeah, y'all been doing
or
better than that.
someone sacrifices. I would say, because you can wager 0 and sacrifice your answer and not lose anything, you have to wager some points and make
I was
us
about
laugh.
to say, if you're going to put a meme answer for the laugh round because you know you're not going to get it right, you have to sacrifice points. If you do that, so what are we doing tonight? What did you have anything planned? Drink-wise? Because I think it was a shot last week. We can do a shotgun.
I do a shot.
Actually, I could put a poll up. For
Yeah.
for shotgun or shot. 'cause
I
don't
would
know what
say-
round we're planning on doing it.
I would say a shot because I only have a couple beers left. I forgot to go shopping today, so
You're a liar. I saw you at the grocery store. You sent pictures.
Have-
You just didn't buy anything, you cheap bastard.
that is true. I didn't actually buy anything because I was a cheap bastard.
Yeah, no, shots are good. Shots are good. We'll do a shot. Although I've been wanting to practice my shotgun after I had shotgun coaching with the bungholes.
So I didn't. I must have a problem or
Ew.
something because I instinctively went to Giant. I was going to the deli was what I was supposed to do, or I was at Safeway. I was supposed to go to the deli, and I instinctively went to the beer aisle first, and I was like, I don't need anything here. I'm here to get like corned beef. I'm good. But the answer is keychain. Ironic though, because Phoebe was living in a box at the time and didn't have any keys.
I loved the note there. That was pretty great. Pete's trainer Hochi was a trained assassin before becoming a UFC trainer. That was the other thing I wanted to talk to you about. What does he say he was instead? I'm so glad this came up. Kim has got into the UFC. We've been watching fights every night. I don't know why. Actually, I know why. The why is because I watch Secret Base on YouTube, which is that sports channel that just does all sports history.
Yep.
And it was a UFC fight last week. It was like a breakdown or a rewind of a UFC fight. Kim watched the whole thing and then was like, I need to watch the UFC now. I'm like, what? And she's like, I don't know. It seemed neat. Let's watch UFC. So I went to YouTube and found the 10 best UFC fights of all time. And then I have ESPN Plus, so I have every UFC ever. And we just go back and find the fight and watch it. And until last night, she has thirsted for the blood of her enemies. But we watched, who did we watch last night? We watched the number 2 overall fight, I believe. And the one dude busted the other guy's nose at the start of the fight. And the fight ended in round 5 because he broke his nose. And the dude literally grabbed his nose and fell down. That was the end of the fight. Like, he shattered his nose.
Oof.
The blood was everywhere the whole fight, and Kim was like, "This is the first fight where I felt nauseous and I'm not enjoying the fight anymore."
Oh, there was
You didn't answer.
there was one fight that grossed me out and one fight that put me off UFC. The one that grossed me out was, I forget who was fighting. It was the title match or whatever, and this guy went to do just a roundhouse kick, and his foot pivoted, but his big toe did not.
Oh.
And they showed it over and over again, and I was like, nope, this is as bad as that dude who broke his shin doing that like jumper in the NCAA tournament when we were in college. I forget. I think it was Louisville or something. Anyway, I was like, that's gross. And then Chuck Liddell came back to fight.
Oh, Chuck Liddell. Yep.
I want to say it was like 2012, 2013, something like that. No, maybe a little bit earlier than that. I don't remember. Anyway, we're watching it, and Chuck Liddell just glass jaw, man. He was the definition of a glass cannon, where he just took. It was like the second or third round he went down. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
my teenage hero is gone. Like, that's not.
done. Yep.
I'm good. I'm good. Like, this is. I don't need to watch this anymore. I'm good.
The correct answer here, he instead was a house painter. But the reason I wanted to bring it up to you, go ahead.
What decade is Monica's engagement ring from?
I always remind Kim that you fought. Like, that's the first thing I remember you as, was you did mixed martial arts. I was like, I remember like getting into school or getting into tech, being there a few years, being in the band, knowing there was a person named Doug, and then starting to talk about the fraternity, and everybody's like, yeah, Doug's a MMA fighter. And I was like, wait, what? And I remember you going to Norfolk, I believe, for a fight, because we were friends by that point, because I think you showed me that either I have the video somewhere, or I've seen the video of that fight. I remember that.
Yep.
I remember getting super excited about it, and then it just disappeared. We didn't talk about it after that.
Yeah, it was. We were at Travis's
a very
place
short
to watch
career.
like the Super Bowl or something like that.
Yeah.
I think I'd done like maybe 3 fights total, like in my entire career, and it was like one was in Roanoke, one was in Charlotte, and then Norfolk was like the farthest I had to drive for any of them. I hated every second of that, and not because of the fighting. Like learning and sparring, it was a ton of fun. It was cutting weight.
Cutting weight.
It's
always cutting weight, man.
I hate it. I hate it because there was times we because the fight in Norfolk was the end of football season, beginning of basketball season.
Yeah.
Because I remember going to a football game on Saturday, wearing a sweatsuit under our clothes because weigh-ins were on Tuesday. And then we had a basketball game on Monday. So I went to the game played when we had the super heavy polos the first time, or rugbies. The first time we did rugbies, and they were like burlap.
I remember.
I wore that, and then I went to the sauna afterwards to cut weight, and then I was 2 pounds under, and I was like, I didn't need to go in the sauna last night. This
was terrible.
The answer is 1920s. It was a princess cut 1.5 carat sapphire on each side, and he paid $8,000 for it.
Woo. What is the name Ross used when he was younger, when dressing up like a woman? Yeah, no, but
right.
it's so funny. So I feel your pain because I cut weight for wrestling in high school. I remember that. I had a sweatsuit. But I remember that being such a like an integral part of your personality for me was being a fighter. I remember that. And like
that was
it's not that it hasn't been for a long time, nor was it even really that big at the time. Like it was a thing you did for a while and that was it. But in my head, every time I think of the UFC, I'm like, yeah, Doug used to fight.
that's one thing that I remember I ranted against one night in a meeting for no reason whatsoever, of just like, we were so set in college on giving everyone a personality or like a one thing we could like be attracted or like surround. So like Greg, we were like, oh, Greg's the klepto.
Yeah.
And like Greg never really was a klepto. It just he would tell us.
To be fair,
When he got
hold
drunk,
on.
yes.
Talk to your fiance. To be fair, Greg did steal things, infrequently, but Greg, when he got drunk, would steal things. Like the klepto moniker, it wasn't all defining, but it was also the same thing for me. Like I feel like the fraternity absolutely tried to label me as the redneck guy.
Yep.
Actually, to be fair, the fraternity labeled me as the redneck racist guy, and I don't know how long y'all have known me. We've been together doing trivia for a while, and Doug has known me for many years. I'm not racist. I'm just from the country.
That was never like, people would intentionally bring up race just to be like, what's your thoughts, Lucas? And you'd be like,
This is my thoughts.
yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely not just a fraternity, but that was a thing.
Well, everyone was like dance
in college
monkey
in
though
general, man.
with it. Everyone's like, what's your one defining feature? And we're gonna base everything off of that. So when I picked up fighting to work out, like that was my thing. It was like I just wanted to work out, and it was fun. Like I used to do karate and jujitsu as a kid, and I was like, hey, let me pick that back up. But the only gym in the area is a kickboxing MMA, so why not? And everyone's like, oh, you're the fighter. You fight. You're a fighter. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Label. The correct answer here is Bay. He used the name Bay.
Thank you.
The best shot girl we know, Allie, ladies and gentlemen. She's beautiful and amazing, and we love her.
Allie, Lucas says you're the best shot girl we know. You're beautiful, amazing, and we love you.
Yep.
She says thank you.
Yay!
Okay. Don't come in here afterwards, please. Okay.
Hold on. What movie did I just quote in my head? Oh no. Don't come in here.
So she just got back from the gym,
Alone.
and she's like, I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm like, please don't come in here after.
Yeah, that'd be bad. I believe this is your question. Yeah.
What was the name of Ross and Monica's dog growing up?
What movie is that? Don't come in here. So in my head, the first thing I thought of was Home Alone, where the uncle's in the shower.
Oh, no, you did.
You get out of here, you little jerk.
Oh.
I'm gonna slap you silly.
Oh, what?
Movie. What movie is that in? Don't come
no
in
idea.
here. Damn it. Oh well. But yeah, Home Alone was where my mind went first. When the uncle's in the shower. But there's another movie where someone walks in on someone doing something and they scream that. But anyway, I digress.
I mean, there's the episode of Friends where Monica walks in on, I think it was Chandler, and saw his penis, or someone walked in and saw someone's penis, and they're like, well, you know, there's a discrepancy in the power now, and you have to show him something.
We await Monica Geller being whole.
There we go. Answer is Chi-Chi. Rachel's dog name was Lapoo. Chappie was the dog from Phoebe and Mike's wedding. And Schnoodle was Frank Jr.'s dog.
There you go. There are a lot of animals in that.
Yep.
Unagi.
Unagi.
What gift did Ross give to Phoebe after learning she didn't have one growing up? MMA. We talked about that. I think I was going somewhere. Oh, the fight that me and Kim watched last night was Robbie Lawler versus Rory McDonald, which was UFC 189. And Lawler was the defending champion. McDonald was the number 2. And Lawler busts his nose in like the first round. And then wails on it the rest of the fight.
So you say Lawler, and my first thought is Jerry the King Lawler. My head immediately went to WWF.
Nailed it. Ah, the King. And that shows you where Doug's true loyalties lie. It will always be wrestling.
Wrestling. I really I would watch big fights when they came up, when they were like people that I followed, but never really watched it religiously. And like that was the craze in college that I never really got behind. Everyone's like, "Oh, there's a UFC fight tonight." I'm like, "There's also a hockey game on Saturday, so you get me for one of the 2 nights. Which one do you want?"
See, I'm a sports nut and haven't always been, as you well know. Sports are my thing. So, I mean, when I got to Tech, football was life. And then I liked college basketball. I was a UNC fan growing up. So I started watching Tech play basketball. And I just like sports. I love them. It's, if you couldn't tell behind me, there's a Hurricane sticker here. That's a picture of Lane Stadium. There's a Braves championship poster over there. This is a Hurricanes goalie mask. There's a Hurricanes jersey there. I mean, I am surrounded by sport. This is a baseball. This is a baseball that has dirt from the World Series that the Braves won last year. That's part of the field from one of the games in the World Series. I like sports. I enjoy the MMA, but me and Kim, or the UFC, but me and Kim was like, why don't you and your dad watch UFC all the time? And me and Dad were talking last night when I was talking to him about me running that race on iRacing. I was like, yeah, I can't get into the UFC because I feel like every other fight's boring. Like, there's a fight where a dude either straight knocks someone out. The correct answer here was bicycle, by the way.
Yep.
Doug can give you your wager question, and then I'll ramble more about the UFC. But anyway.
So, last question. Remember, if you're going for the meme answer, you have to wager some points. So.
Oh wait, is this the round we're doing that in? I need to go back and check if their meme answer is even worth it.
You said 24.
Did they get there? I did. So
was it one or the other, or is it both?
No, give me 1 second. It's both. They needed to average 60%, or a bunch of them have to meme answer. So, let's see here. So, that's fear and pet peeves. Ancient history. Ancient history, we had 85, 69, 15% on the house painter question. 50%. 60, 60, 75. So, they had 2 questions where they dropped below an average of 60. But I'm going to say that their 85 round and the Unagi round was 80. That covers the 2. So we need to have at least one person who wagered points here and memed, and you get the shot.
Yep. So how much did Joey?
Yeah.
How much did Joey weigh? According to Joey, at least, when he was born, in pounds. We will give you within 2 either way, or 1 either way. What do you think? 2 or 1?
2. Let's do 2.
2 either way. So if the answer, let's say, is 50, we will accept 52 to 48.
Or if you're going for your meme answer, you have to wager an amount of points and come up with something that makes Doug and I giggle.
Yep.
Which I am in for on this round because you all did pretty good on your percentage that round.
Yep.
I'm good with the percentages. But the UFC just has boring fights. Like, there are times where dudes just lay on dudes.
Yep.
If that's your thing, cool. But I get bored. I want to see people actually either fight or just knock somebody out.
There are 3 things that I absolutely love in the UFC that like get me pumped. Is good striking when they stay on their feet and they trade blows, which is great. Even when they
Awesome.
block, throw, whatever, just don't circle each other like you're dancing.
Yep, I agree.
Good takedowns are always really cool. Like if you execute a really good takedown, it looks good. I'm not super interested in like the jiu-jitsu part of it, just because it just looks like you're just kind of like rolling on the ground a little bit. But
yeah,
and I
I
think
want
that's
you
kind
to
of
be
like
going for a finishing move if you're on the ground.
either
I want you
a
to be
good
setting up.
submission or
Yep.
a good ground and pound. Like, I think those
Yep,
two go
absolutely.
together because it's a finisher
grind
one
it
way or the
down.
other way.
Although what I've learned in rewatching these fights is a lot of even now, a lot of fighters forget that when you stagger a dude, don't go for a submission hold, especially late in a round, because you're both sweaty and probably bloody, and people will literally go for that. Like they'll stagger a dude with like a good set of combos, and he'll go falling down. And instead of continuing and going to overhead blows, they try to put in like a chokehold or a guillotine, and they just fall out of it, and then they both end up on the ground. And I'm like, for what? Why did you do that? If you had just kept hitting them in the head, you'd have won this fight, but you stopped. Yeah, no, I read it, and they win. I definitely think they win. So I'll be honest. We had 12 or 11 of 13 teams in. And I thought nobody wanted us to drink tonight, which was fine. And then out of nowhere, Joey Tribabunghole comes out with, or else what? You'll release the dogs or the bees or the dogs with bees in their mouths, and when they bark, they shoot out bees at you. And yeah, that got it. That did the thing.
That's so the answer is 27. So if you answered 29 to 25, you got credit.
Correct. It's halftime. Doug's going to read you the scores. I'm going to make my shot real quick and get my second drink because cheers to you all for a good round.
Yeah. So let's get that going then. In first place at halftime, Transporter Bunghole with 80 points. April and Sean with 65. Ross Champs 63.9. All right. After the top three, we've got Officer Goodbody's Last Dance with 47. My thing is not uploading as fast. Cool. Monica Geller, Binghole, Regina Phalange, Princess Bunghola, Banana Hammock, Chandler's a Girl, Chandler Binghole, Banana Hammock, Joey Tribibunghole with 20.64. The one where they play trivia has 20.63. It's a close race. Bunghole, Perk, and Not Ratcham. All right. With that, I will wait for him to get back, but hope you all are having a good time. If you are new here, we do this every Thursday, not friends, because we'd run out of questions real fast, and you guys get really bored of us real fast. But we do trivia every Thursday, 7 o'clock on Twitch. The last Thursday of the month is our theme round. We did Friends this month. Last month we did 80s and 90s. We are kind of leading into the more popular stuff, so if you guys are interested, we put our stuff out on Facebook, on YouTube. We also have a Twitter, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not the one who runs the social media because I am not smart enough to write up social media stuff. So
That was a valiant effort. We have a Facebook, we have a Discord, and we have a Instagram.
Instagram. We don't have a Twitter. Good to know.
We have an Insta because Lucas doesn't have experience with Twitters because his gaming Twitter got banned when he first made it, so I just don't do Twitter. I got banned. I don't know why. I even asked them the other day when I came back to doing streaming again why my Twitter got banned. They're like, you're banned because you're banned. I was like, okay, I'm done with you.
All right. I got my drink. You got yours?
Let me open up my Bush Apple. So I have a chaser, but I got rum because rum's good.
I got rum too. Got Bayou. Got the Bayou rum.
I have Mud Creek, whatever the local whiskey is that I've had, or rum that I've had before.
We just need to remember the 2022 Stanley Cup champions.
So
cheers.
Friends, good times. Cheers to you, sir. Down. Up we go.
Woo!
You can tell that we've taken too many shots together. Because we do it the same way. And I know everybody clinks their glasses, but if you watch Doug and I, we literally cheers, take the same motion down to dunk, and then throw our heads back in the same motion, and then make the same face to follow. Actually, I need to bring you some of this rum. That stuff's delicious. And you know how I am with shots. I'm not good with shots.
The Bayou's really good as a sipper. I got it from Ryan's father-in-law, and which was the best trade I ever made, because when I bought my PS5, I sold my PS4 to Ryan so he could play games with us because he still had a PS3.
Hold on. I have a story to build off that, by the way, but go ahead.
I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll sell you. I'm gonna keep most of my PS4 games because PS5 is backwards compatible. I bought it with a disc drive. I'll sell you it for $200 or $100, something like that. I gave him like 2 controllers, a charging station, like the whole 9 yards. Because honestly, just I got the PS5 and most of the stuff that was going to transfer over anyway, I just kept. And I get there to drop off the PS4, and his father-in-law's there. It's like, I've got a bunch of alcohols for you. He's like, here's a scotch, here's a rum, here's a bourbon, here's a like, I don't know what's going on with this trade, but like, here's more to like incentivize it. I'm like, Ryan already is gonna get the honestly, I would have given it to him for free if I hadn't been like told I can't give my PS4 away for free. So
I mean, that was literally what we did with my gaming computer I gave to him. Like, its value was, I don't remember what the value of it was, but I wanted Ryan to have it. And I knew that if I didn't set a dollar value, he wouldn't take it. But, build off your story. Do you know where the PS3 that he had came from?
you
Me. He bought my PS3 in college.
he like for as much as he does, and like he is super extra responsible and refuses to buy good things for himself. And I'm just like, treat yourself. You got a house.
Treat yourself.
Super responsible. You sold your car so you did the family vehicle. Super responsible. Drop $200 on something that you want, dude.
For you. Yeah, no,
For
I mean, that's me, dude. This morning, I literally bought myself... And what's funny for me, though, is that I don't feel the need to buy expensive things to treat myself. I literally bought myself NASCAR shirts this morning. Me and Cam have got back into watching NASCAR. I've started streaming iRacing, right? And one of the guys I watch that does YouTube videos wears a NASCAR shirt every time he puts up a YouTube video for NASCAR. And I was like, you know what? I've got back into NASCAR. I want to do that. So the Ryan Priest guy that I was telling you about before stream started, I bought 2 of his shirts on his website. And then I bought the person that Kim pulls for, I bought her a shirt. And then I bought me 2 shirts of the guys that I pull for in the Cup Series. So when I stream iRacing, I intend to have support shirt on. Because why not? And it was $70 or $100 for 5 shirts. Why not?
Not bad.
Do that thing for you. It makes you happy.
Yep.
We are going to speed through this because it is called and only a little drunk. The lightning round is going to be quick and easy. Friends had some iconic hairstyles through the years. Can you identify the season from the screen grab? So look at the screen grab. Tell me what season it was. First one, the Rachel.
That seems like not a lightning round.
You did give us a speed round.
That doesn't seem like a lightning round, though. That seems very... You went quiet.
What season was it? And you've said this, watch them just click off the answer. We have 6 teams in already. I spilled a little bit of my bush apple on my my mouse mat. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
So I got a full desk mat from Games Done Quick this year. It's not getting here till...
I want to see how big... Oh,
well, I'm not getting it till October. So right now, it's supposed to be a 26 by 13, I think.
26 by 13. Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna fit my desk or not. I just know like that's the only size they had, but it's got like a odometer or a speedometer or whatever, with like games as the notches, and then like the red line is just like Games Done Quick as like the you can play all these games, but then like you have to speed run. With a couple other things in it, and I got that during Games Done Quick. Also, a not sponsored at all, but if you guys like games and you guys like donating a charity, Games Done Quick is a Twitch channel that does 2 events a year. They do Summer Games Done Quick and Awesome Games Done Quick. Summer Games Done Quick obviously is in the summer. Awesome Games Done Quick is normally months. Hopefully we don't get into the winter years with Ice Age or anything like that.
The winter years.
The winter years. The winter is coming. But it's 7 days, 24 hours of just speedrunning games. So remember that game you played as a kid that you're like, oh, I spent like 4 months beating that. Yeah, someone's beat it in 15 minutes. And they donate to like Doctors Without Borders, Ronald McDonald House, all these big like charities. Everything they collect, they send on. Yeah. So Kenny, you were down the road from Summer Games Done Quick. We're down the road from Awesome Games Done Quick, which is they do that in Dulles, Virginia. But they are a great cause. If you enjoy games, you definitely check it out. But
I went to grab my tape measure really quickly that I use as my buzzer for Jeopardy when me and Kim play. It wasn't in its spot, so I'm concerned.
well, the answer. What was the answer?
Yeah. The answer was season 1. This is the one with all the poker. We were short a Bing hole there and 2 other teams, so we'll see what happens. So the teams we were short were Officers Goodbye, Chandler's Girl, and Chandler Bing hole. Next question, Douglas. Ooh.
All right. How about Joey and his jam?
Literally, this one is called the one with the jam.
Joey will forever make sure that he's eating jam.
He looks crazy in that picture. I love Matt LeBlanc.
But-
in all honesty,
I was sad. Like, I so looked forward to when Top Gear got rid of the original 3 and Matt LeBlanc was tapped to be one of the replacements. I was like, I would watch that. And then he was there for a season and they got rid of him. Like, I don't want to watch this anymore.
well, that's what I was going to ask you. So I was original 3. I watched way too much Top Gear OG.
Love Top
and
Gear.
was not happy with what happened. I watch Grand Tour religiously. It's the show that puts Kim to sleep at night. Like, I am a Top Gear. We could do a theme night on Top Gear that no one would get answers right on that I would know because I am obsessive about that television show. I used to could tell you the seasons and the episodes that stuff happened in. But I never. I watched American Top Gear a few times, which I wasn't against. I thought American Top Gear was actually good. I just think that people constantly tried to compare it to British Top Gear when it didn't need to be. I felt like it could have been its own show. They just shouldn't have called it Top Gear. But when they replaced Jeremy Hammond and May, I never really watched any of those episodes. But I knew Matt LeBlanc was on it for a while, and I knew he could stand on his own. But they apparently took him out like one season in.
Yeah, I don't know what happened because they replaced him with one season. After one season, they replaced the other 2 the season after that, and they've just been rotating through like they're trying to find the magic again. And it's like you had the magic, you had it right. Like I get why you fired him.
Okay, so according to Kim, yeah, no, I agree. Apparently, Matt LeBlanc and one of the other announcers had drama, and that's why he left the show.
Interesting. I get it. Like they're trying to find the magic again, but you had the magic, and I get why you had to fire them. I understand that. Like, I'm not excusing what Hammond did in any way, shape, or form.
No, it was Jeremy.
Oh, it was Jeremy.
Jeremy assaulted a producer during a long shoot who didn't bring them food. And I'm like you. I get that, but like, man,
there's a certain level of like you were doing so much, you were bringing in so much, you had this show that gearheads across the planet watched, and you're like, no.
Or people who didn't, well, like Kim, people who don't even like cars watch that show because they were just entertaining.
My mom watched Top Gear with me. I forget which episode it was. It was one of the travel episodes, one of the longest.
Yeah, one of the hold on, they call them the specials.
One of the specials, and she was losing her mind, and she was like, "What's the show called?" I was like, "Well, this is Top Gear, but if you want to watch," I was like, "Do you like these celebrities?" She's like, "I love those celebrities. Like, you need to watch Top Gear, like original. Like this is what like Grand Tour." So we were watching a Grand Tour special. I was like, you need to go watch Top Gear. Like, the Stig is awesome. Like, you'll learn so much about cars that you don't understand. And she's like, I'm definitely gonna go check this out. And like now she's hooked. And she has had a Kia Optima since 2007. To just put that in perspective about how she feels about cars. Like,
that's
So
yeah.
So the answer is season 3.
You remember that time we were gonna make this a lightning round and then we got off on Top Gear?
Yep.
The one where they were gonna make it a lightning round and then they started talking about Top Gear. Ross had a unique style in high school. Which season was this flashback from? Funny enough, I think I'd seen some Top Gear, but I had a friend in engineering at Tech who was really into Top Gear, and I don't know if he was into me or if he just really wanted to be friends. But he invited me over to his dorm room when his roommate wasn't there to watch episodes of Top Gear because he found out I liked Top Gear, and we watched like 2 or 3 episodes together, and then I'd leave. And he was a super nice guy, and apparently he turned out to like be the CEO of his own company and became like a big computer engineer. But me and him used to watch Top Gear together, and then I got into it and I started buying seasons of it on. I own like 7 seasons of Top Gear on iTunes, but it was that show that stood on its own as far as separate from Car Buff. The correct answer here is season 2, the one with the prom video.
Another flashback. How about this Chandler's iconic "A Flock of Seagulls" haircut?
But
the one where the stripper cries.
The one where the stripper cries. When doves cry. But that's like, that was my thing about Top Gear, is that it took the car show narrative and changed it into a show that anyone could find entertaining. What's wrong?
I just the who keeps answering first is
Super fast?
yeah.
Well, I mean,
There's looking at it now. There's a delay, so never mind.
not nearly as fast as you thought it was.
Yeah, because when I hit ask, it's like, boop, immediately. It's like, oh,
yeah.
like 0.3 seconds. I think not. Oh, it's 7 seconds. Never mind.
Yeah, that's way slower. Yeah.
Answer is
we're
season
one
10.
short. Poor bunghole perk.
It's fine. Let's.
Yeah, you're right. I said Demi Moore, not Dudley Moore. What season did this happen in? The one with Ross's new girlfriend. That's a horrifying picture.
Why would you do that?
Oh, Phoebe. Let's see here. Where is the thing that I want to do the thing and the stuff? I'm out of 13, so the only bunghole perk is the only one.
It's Transponster Bong. I've been reading this wrong the entire time.
Transponster?
Yeah. What Chandler's job is. He's a transponster. That's not even a word.
Or bunghole perk, even a little too slow. The correct answer here, this is season 2.
Phoebe's iconic curly hair.
Wow. That's a good look for her. She looks like she's in a an outfit for what's that thing? Help me, Doug. Channel my brain. Think about it. All right, what am I thinking?
Start the sentence again that you.
She looks like she's in an outfit for.
A Ren Fair, a medieval.
Thank you, Ren Fair. That was it. That's exactly what I wanted. In my head, I was going medieval times, and Doug's like Ren Fair. Nailed it. Teamwork. One brain.
But can we talk about
Shut up, Kimberly. Quit making fun of me.
Can we talk about how Lisa Kudrow is just hot all the time? Like she's still hot. Like
okay,
you
I
cannot.
want to throw this out there. I did not think Phoebe was ever really attractive.
Oh,
She
no.
looks really nice with curly hair, apparently. Things you learn.
Oh no, I was never attracted to
No, we just
Phoebe.
Doug just said it. Doug just said she was attractive all the time. I was making a comment on my co-host, dear.
Oh no,
Apparently, no one cares what I think.
Phoebe, I never found Phoebe attractive, but Lisa Kudrow,
What is she in?
she's in
I don't know her
she's in
from
a
anything
bunch.
besides
She's in a
Friends.
bunch of other stuff as like, she normally plays like 2 or 3 episodes and stuff, but
Okay.
like, even as an older lady, like she's attractive. I mean, she's not like, drop dead gorgeous or anything, but she aged very well.
Yeah, no, I support that.
The answer is season 1.
That is season 1. I don't know why the release score hates me today. Monica's definitely not culturally appropriating cornrows. But I mentioned it earlier. I love Courtney Cox. Everything Courtney Cox plays in that I watch, I enjoy. Kim's a Scream fan.
I mean, she's one of the original Scream queens. I mean,
yeah, Kim's a huge Scream fan. I'm not a horror person, and I guess it's probably debatable where you rate the Scream movies, but I enjoy the Screams. They're fun. Some of them definitely lean more toward horror. Some lean more toward like that comedy horror that came in the 2000s. But
I definitely.
But I mean, like even Cougar Town. I watched Cougar Town when we were at Tech. She's fun.
Cougar Town is hysterical.
It is. It's a good show, man. It's an underrated show, in my opinion. Oh, Kim. We're missing Kim that normally answers questions. All right, 10 out of 3. Correct answer here is season 10. This is season 10. Is this the wager?
No. Well, let me check. No, it's the last one of the round. It's not a wager though.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
So, quiet down for this last one. What about Ross's greased hair?
I didn't know Ross was in Greece. But the actors and actresses in the show, Matt LeBlanc really didn't do a lot. I guess he had the Joey spinoff, but like they're all fairly iconic, right? Like Courtney Cox has been in a lot of stuff. Matt LeBlanc's been in a decent amount of stuff. Jennifer Aniston does everything. I mean, she was the poster child in my opinion anyway. Not at the time, but she became that. And then you look at, I mean, even, like you said, Lisa Kudrow does a lot of stuff. I guess Ross. I feel like Chandler's problem was... What about? Yeah, I knew Chandler had a problem.
He was either...
He had drug problems. Like, he even had drug problems during the show.
Yeah, it was either alcohol or drugs, like every... In the later seasons. Oh no, I'm saying both.
Yeah, for sure.
People would talk about it was either drugs or alcohol for every filming, and the problem was that he was funny enough that they couldn't take him off the show. That he carried it, and everyone hated him for it. And well, I mean, not hated him for it. They were concerned about it because they all are from the interviews. They're all still really close, but. It was one of those things that like they tried multiple times, and I guess there was a delay in one of the seasons because of him getting treatment.
Yeah, I agree. So correct answer for that one?
That'd be season 5.
Nice. Let's see if we can't burn through the penultimate round real quick. We're not even going to show you scores. We're just going to roll.
Yep.
The next round is literature. How many pages was the letter Rachel wrote to Ross? Front and back. So you got to count front and back.
I feel like that's a Monica thing.
Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, I don't know. Rachel and Ross had their the drama. I don't love this show, but this show is iconic. Like, it's definitely that show that I think in 20 years they'll have binge watching as a thing, and it will say Friends was one of those shows. Friends was that show that people would literally buy a streaming service to watch. I love how as I've got more drunk, I've got more endearing to Friends. But anyway, go ahead, Doug.
Honestly, I think that they've caught wise to... It's not great to release an entire season in a day, because everyone will watch it immediately. So like Disney Plus will release an episode a week, and that if it's a 6-week show or a 6-episode show, that's 2 months you're milking out of somebody.
That's true.
So if they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch,"
the traditional thing makes sense. But anyway,
and I think honestly we're getting back to cable television, where you will get 7 streaming services, so you can watch a show or 2 a week to keep up.
Which is frustrating, because that was the whole point of satellite and cable. The correct answer here is 18. It was 18 pages, front and back. Next question, Doug.
What book was Rachel supposed to read in high school, but according to her, had to be at the top of the pyramid for the pep rally?
I think, and this is just what I think it's doing the college football thing and the cable thing. I mean, everything's cyclical, right? I think that's the term I want. But anyway, you go through phases of certain things and then it changes back to another thing. College football had a phase of like, these were all the big teams. Now we spread back out to a bunch of small conferences that fight each other and meet to fight, and now we're like our current era is merging back into mega conferences. That's what cable television was. You had all these independent little television studios and stuff that merged and made giant cable networks, and then you're like, so I remember, and I'm sure you do. When I was a kid, you had Dish, Direct, and your local cable service, whatever it was, be it Cox, be it Spectrum. I think Time Warner is what I had. But I mean, the point being is that you had a conglomerate that managed all the channels, and all you had to do was pay $60 a month or whatever it was back in the day, and you got all the channels. And now what streaming services have basically done is split it back in. It's almost like states versus oh no, I'm having one of those drunken like moments. But it's almost like states' rights versus government. What's the two terms?
Fed.
State versus
Federal?
Federal. State versus federal rights. So we go through these terms of like where the federal government controls everything, and then it jumps back to the states and it spreads out, and each individual state comes up with their thing. We're in a state phase in television, where the federal government has let it go, and it's like, just let the states make the rules, so everybody has their own streaming service. Wait and see. Somebody will make a big Facebook stream, and they will buy up like 10 different streaming services and be like, if you want Hulu, if you want NBC, if you want ESPN, it's all under Facebook Stream. And it'll go back to the same thing it was.
I mean, that's essentially what Verizon has been doing with ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and Hulu. But it's going to be like, do you want the... And I think this is where commercials get cut out for a little while. Where it'll be like, do you want the commercial-free version of like, insert 4 or 5 streaming services here, pay us $60 a month.
$60 a month. There you go.
And,
exactly.
And it'll break out and they'll be like, oh, actually no, $75 a month, no commercials. $85.
Or you could pay $30 a month and have normal commercials.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly what's going to
happen. And then it'll build up, and we'll get to a point where like you have to buy this one streaming service for everything, no commercials, pay $120 a month. And then,
which is the same price of why we all stopped buying DirecTV and cable, and then it'll reset.
Yep, and it'll all reset.
Why is it? Do I feel like I just had this giant revelation, but everybody else knows this?
Yeah.
What was the correct answer?
The answer is
Doug?
Wuthering Heights.
Oh God, did you read that book in high school?
I did, and I did not enjoy it. But
which of these books does Joey keep in the freezer? I remember reading Wuthering Heights in high school, and I remember hating it. Like, it's not... And I saw something the other day. Kim's big into the book world. Shout out to my wife. She has a book channel on YouTube called Kimberly Reads. But she loves books, right? And somebody on one of those things was posting about Wuthering Heights not being a romance. In my opinion, Wuthering Heights is a romance. Because those two end up together. The whole point of the book is that those two are meant for each other, no matter how much, it is a tragedy, but no matter how much they hate each other, no matter what happens, they end up together. And I don't care what you think about it. That's my opinion. She's typing in stream now and screaming as we talk.
It's not a romance, you moron.
I hated that book. It was terrible. I remember getting to Tech my freshman year and finding it in the library at Tech and sending a picture to my friend and being like, this trash made it to college. I hate my life. I hated that book. But anyway, God, Wuthering Heights is terrible.
That's answer's on you.
Oh, the answer is on me. The correct answer that Joey put in the freezer, that was The Shining. He gets scared after reading it, so he puts it in the freezer to feel safer. After reading about one of the characters that gets sick in Little Women, he starts worrying and has to put that in the freezer too. So Joey apparently stores books in the freezer when he gets scared. Apparently people do that in real life too, Kim said.
So my stepbrother found out that I hate current horror. Like the gore. I call it the gore horror. where
Kim hates gore. She likes pre-gore, but gore,
so-
this is definitely the gore era.
So I love Freddy, I love Jason, I love
Yeah, yeah.
Chucky, I love but the
Chucky
original
freaks me out,
like
but anyway, go ahead.
the originals of like it was an implied death or there was like a single
Yeah,
stab,
like you know what
or-
happens, or there was a
like-
stab, you knew they were gonna die.
Right, like there was something to it that wasn't like, oh, but now it's like, oh, she got caught and her leg got torn off and her eyes poked out. I'm like, this is too much. No.
Yeah, it's excessive.
And I remember watching The Shining and being legitimately freaked out over like no one dies except for Jack Nicholson's character of hypothermia. Spoilers. And
I've never seen The Shining, by the way, but go ahead.
I legitimately felt like terrified the whole time. I was like, and now it's like I watch horror and I'm like, I'm not scared. I'm just kind of queasy. Like, this is stupid.
I agree.
And so my stepbrother found out that like watching good horror, I'll start yelling out "nope" when someone's about to die.
Nope.
Nope. Like a the blonde ditzy female will be like, oh, what's that sound in the shed of chainsaws? Let me go towards it. I'm like, nope. And so when Nope came out, he sent me a picture of it from the theaters, and he's like, hey, they made a movie about
released your
you.
movie.
And I was like, I'm still gonna go see it because it looks great. And also, Jordan Peele is amazing at everything he's done.
Yep.
So,
Facts.
including Key and Peele. So,
I'm not a horror fan, but those are facts. All right, we need to
right.
do some rounds.
yeah. What book does Joey read to Emma for her first birthday?
Kim says we got to roll. It's almost 9 o'clock.
Yep. We will be playing games after this. If you want to play with us, we will be in our Discord. We are not going to stream it, so.
We will stream it in Discord. So if you want to come see the hilarity that is that, or participate, be there, or be not there.
Oh, I
really
have
wanted to say
changed
B-square,
over
but I didn't think it made sense.
from
It's a cider again.
Fighting Hokey to Blood Orange, East Cider.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Oh, I didn't see
After
it.
the shot,
I didn't see
Bush
this.
Apple. It's Bush Apple now. That's
I
why
didn't see this last time. So this is from Austin, Texas, called East Ciders Blood Orange Cider. And on the bottom it says, how do you like them apples?
How do you like them apples? All right, Doug, correct answer. Hit me with it.
Love you forever.
That is Love You Forever. The next question. What was the name of the comic Ross wrote that Phoebe kept when she mugged him? Oh yeah, when she mugged him. What's the name of the comic that Ross wrote that Phoebe kept when she mugged him? That just really threw me off. I like that, number one. Number two, I have, sorry, I just finally got back to my image search of Lisa Kudrow, who looks like she hasn't aged much since she's been Phoebe. Like, she definitely got older, but it doesn't look like she aged all that much. Also, random thing that no one else here will get, but she kind of, in most of her pictures, looks like Kelly Borky to me.
A little bit, yeah.
But anyway.
So the other thing there was, did you see Death 2020?
Dest or Dust?
Death.
Death 2020. No.
So it's on Netflix. It's
Gotcha.
the guys who made Black Mirror were like,
Ooh,
we're not.
yeah.
No, wait, they were like, we're not gonna make another Black Mirror season because 2020 was fucked up enough. We're not gonna add to that. So here's a comedy.
Yeah, I heard about this. Yeah, I heard about it.
But so Lisa Kudrow plays the Secretary of Press for the president, and they interview her, and she does the whole fake news thing until the end of it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, so how do you feel? I never said that. Also, are you guys hiring? Like,
Are you firing?
it's fantastic. The opening alone, it's
Gangster Science book. Go ahead. Yep.
yeah. Sorry, it's speaking of comics, in the one that could have been, what comic does Chandler try to send ideas to?
So anyway.
It opens with Samuel L. Jackson playing a reporter, and they're like, "Yeah, we're just here to talk to you about whatever." And he's like, "This isn't some bullshit, blah, blah, whatever." being, Samuel L. Jackson, essentially. He's Samuel L. Jackson
yeah.
playing a reporter playing Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L.
essentially.
Jackson. Yeah, no.
And they're like, oh yeah, we're here to talk to you about 2020. He's like, why the fuck would you want to talk about 2020? I'm like, that
Big
sums up
facts.
the entire year. Yeah, that's
Yeah, no, it does. That's it. Oh, that's what I was doing. I remember what I was doing now. I wanted to send you something that I was thinking of about. So I showed the bush apple. Nor have I never been a big. I have 9 answers in. 9 answers has been where we've been hovering. So
Yep.
Doug, what is the
answers? Archie Comics.
This is Archie Comics. Also, I noticed that. What encyclopedia volume did Joey buy? Nor have I never been a Kevin Harvick fan. When I was a kid, this is a tirade on the NASCAR thing. Harvick drove a Chevrolet. I'm a Ford man, always have been. I own a Mustang. I like Fords. So I always poured for Ford drivers. I was a Mark Martin fan when I was a kid. I digress. Anyway, Harvick now drives a Ford. And I mean, he's one of the few drivers that I recognize because I've been out of NASCAR for a long time. And so I pull up his car and his shirt for this season, and I need to send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you before I say what I'm gonna say. And there's the link. Look at the red version of that. I see 9 answers in. That's the end of the question. He buys the Encyclopedia Volume V. Yeah. So the black shirt is
awesome.
Gravedigger, which I just want because I like Gravedigger. But Kevin Harvick's sponsor is Bush. So he had a Bush Apple car, and I was like, I kind of need this shirt, but I don't like Kevin Harvick. I don't know what to do. Anyway, wager round. Hit him with it.
What was the title of Mr. Heckle's book?
But yeah, so it cracked me up because the Bush Apple shirt is literally the option for him. And I showed it to Kim, and she's like, I don't really like that shirt. It's red. And I'm like, I know, but it's Bush Apple. And I drink those. You made me think of it when you pulled up your cider. That reminded me. What's Kenny's team tonight? Kenny, what team are you playing? I forgot.
And also, if we don't have enough players, are you gonna play Fall Guys with us? I want to crown.
You're good at Fall Guys.
I want a crown on Wednesday.
Okay.
I had to. I was trying to just do my dailies.
Right.
I had to drag my team kicking and screaming to first place. We were the last team to qualify in every single match, and the only reason we survived was I got first place in everything. And I was like, why? I just need you guys to come in like the top 10. I'm not asking much, just the top 10 once. And we get to the last game, and I'm like, if this is anything team-based at all, we're done. And it was the crown climb or whatever, the hill, like you just climb up and grab it. And I was like, oh, okay, screw you guys. And ended up jumping, and I grabbed it like half a second before the other team did. And I was like, okay. Oh, thank God.
Sorry, I got distracted. Chris Ponder Bong is going to have to drop out. And they're currently leading by a lot.
Who's
40 points to be exact.
Why do you say that?
They said it in Twitch. Unfortunately, they have to drop. There were some great questions, and they said they appreciated it. So I told them to add the Discord and send Sarge a message. Because they could still potentially win.
Yep. That's
so,
fair.
If you're still here, definitely add Discord and shoot Sarge a message with an email for you guys, because you have definitely gave yourself a substantial lead going into the last round.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
Absolutely.
The answer is my big book of grievances. So
it's scoreboard, yeah.
Scoreboard before we go into the last round. Hold on. Let me get the update.
As that pulls up, what's the rule? What's the rule of Fall Guys, Doug? Just get Lucas to the last round.
Get Lucas to the last round.
Get me to the final round.
In first place, Transponster Bong, who is saying they have to leave, unfortunately. April and Sean, you're in second place, the 106.36. Ross Champs, 94.42. Princess Bunghola, Banana Hammock, 70.6. Regina Phalange, 60.46. Monica Geller Binghole, 59.06. Why do they all end in 6? Officer Goodbody's Last Dance, 47.49. Joey Tribby Bunghole, 42.63. The one they play trivia, 37. Banana Hammock, 30. Chandler's a Girl, 28. Chandler Binghole, 26. Bunghole Perk, 23. And Not Ratcham, 6. So with that, we're going into our final round.
Like saying Not Rachel. There's a character literally called Rachel, Doug. Jesus Christ.
It has M at the end.
You're an M.
All right, let's go for it.
All right, what is Jack Geller's one request for when he dies?
My request
He
for when I
requests this
die.
because everyone thinks he's predictable.
I'm not allowed to do this anymore if I get married to Allie, because you can't cremate if you're.
I was about to say you had something with cremation, I'm sure.
So what I wanted to do, I had 2 plans. Either A, the preferred method is I wanted to be cremated, have my ashes put into one of the canisters they shoot out of a cannon to start avalanches, because I want to go out in natural disaster. Or correction, I want to go out causing a natural disaster.
As the natural disaster, yes.
Or the other one is I want to be put in a firework as the finale to a 4th of July.
Fair. I like all of these things so far. But marrying Allie and being in the Jewish faith,
you can't.
that goes out the window.
Yeah, can't. You have to be buried as a whole body, to the point that, like, if you have a part of your body cut off through amputation or whatever, it gets buried in the plot you're supposed to be buried in before you die, so that you're buried as a whole body when you get lowered into the ground.
Okay. Correct answer here that he wants a burial at sea.
You know how burials at sea works? They tie you up in a hammock and they kick you over the side. Like,
Eat you over the side and you fall into the bottom of the ocean.
Good enough. Burial at sea is the laziest way to get buried. It's just like,
That's big facts. Yeet.
good enough.
And done.
Like, there was a bunch of pirates one day who were like, oh man, we gotta carry all these bodies to shore. This sucks. And the captain was like, hey, I have an idea. Like,
What if we just threw them in the ocean? Douglas!
No, we can't do that. Denise
Finish
Richards
the round.
plays Monica and Ross's cousin. What was her name?
Your bonus question for you, Doug. What is Denise Richards in that is way better than Friends?
Everything.
Blue Mountain State! I want to watch Blue Mountain State now.
I'm so sad that Blue Mountain State got canceled. Like, it was, like, yes, it was raunchy. Yes, it was.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
it was like that quintessential, like mid to late aughts comedy.
Yeah.
But it had some sticking power. It really did.
It did. Oh, I agree. I mean, there's a reason they made the movie. There's a reason that they had enough money to film the Thadland movie, which was really good, my dad.
I mean, the guy who played Thad went on to do a bunch of stuff.
Oh, he's one of like the lead dudes in that new Amazon show.
Oh, the Jack Ryan or whatever, or
he's like the main character.
Like, know what the Romano, I forget his name, the goat costume guy, is trying to do serious roles now. I'm like, I don't know about that.
All right, what you got?
Answer is Cassie.
Played Cassie. Number 43. Which aunt leaves Monica the dollhouse? What was sad was I really thought we were doing good with our timing, and then I glanced at the clock after like halftime. I was like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Um,
So what I'm hearing is that we need to do something that we are mildly interested in, we can talk about and move on, not something we're uninterested in or fully vested in.
yeah, we rambled about a lot of things that weren't friends. To be fair, we rambled about a lot of things that were friends tonight at some points. We've been in a rambling mood tonight.
Mama, I was born a rambling man.
In my head, all I could think of there, and that's because I heard it on the radio today. I'm going to wait till the timer runs out. We're going to go to the next question. Then I'm going to continue my thought, because that's how we need to do it. Brain. The correct answer here is Sylvia. Next question.
Next question, 44. Which college was Frank Jr. going to attend before finding out about having triplets?
Carrie Underwood covered Ozzy Osbourne's "Mama, I'm Coming Home," and it actually, which I love Carrie Underwood, is solid. I was impressed, but I can't find it anywhere. I heard it on the radio the other day, like the radio show I listened to played a clip from it. It was one of their rock and roll questions in their quiz, and but they played a clip of it, and I can't find it, but it's solid. Like, she apparently Carrie Underwood likes classic rock, and she's done covers with Ozzy, Axl Rose, Aerosmith, and Poison. She's done like 4 major like 80s hair bands, and she does covers of songs with them. It's pretty neat. I haven't slept. All right, Doug, correct answer.
Correct answer is Refrigerated College.
The refrigerator.
All right, I'll be right back 2 seconds.
Cool. Doug is gone for 2 seconds, so in 2 seconds we're gonna answer a bunch of questions. What's Chandler's dad's name? I didn't know Chandler had a dad. I just assumed that he was immaculately consumed. Immaculately. You're not helping me. My brain isn't gonna help me either. Immaculately conceived. I remember the other C word that I wanted. And Jesus ate him. I'm sad Doug wasn't here for that. That should be a clip. Oh dear Lord. I don't know. You don't think about characters in shows having parents unless they're there. Like, Monica's parents are around, so you think about them, right? But you don't think about other parents unless they're brought up or in the show, like Seinfeld. Seinfeld? Not Seinfeld. Everybody Loves Raymond. Everybody Loves Raymond, the parents are integral. Anyway, correct answer here is Charles. Charles was his dad's name. Next question is, which one of these was not one of Joey's sisters? So as I remember, yeah, I was about to say, I remember Joey had a lot of sisters. Correct answer is 7. There are 7 of them out there. We've given you an option of 4. Which one of these wasn't one? I was about to say, I remember Joey having a lot of sisters, but I've never seen an episode with Joey's sisters. Although I think that would be hilarious because female versions of Joey sound fun and funny at the same time. Doug, you just missed me stumbling over words.
That's fine.
Chandler was immaculately consumed instead of immaculately conceived, because the question was about Joey's dad. Or not Joey, Chandler's dad. And I couldn't think of the word conceived, so I was just sitting here. Kim leans around the computer and goes, I'm not helping you. So apparently Chandler was eaten by Jesus. That's my new theory, and I'm sticking to it. Correct answer, one of these that isn't Joey's sister is... Go ahead, Doug.
Mina.
That's right.
It's Gina, Tina, Dina, Marie Angela, Mary Teresa, Veronica, and Cookie.
And Cookie. What type of doctor is Rachel's dad? I also sent a private message to,
Rachel's dad, played by Bruce Willis.
Is it Bruce Willis?
Yeah.
The people that they pulled into this show to play characters is unreal. Like, and me and Kim talked about it yesterday when we were driving home when I was talking about this trivia night. About Monica and, Mustache. What's his name?
Frank Jr.?
Kim?
Oh,
Tom Selleck.
Oh.
Tom Selleck.
Speaking of mustaches, though, the guy who plays Frank Jr., Giovanni Ribisi, has been in, like, everything.
He looked familiar when I saw that gif. I assume that was him, right?
He was, did you ever watch Ted or Ted 2?
No, I know of Ted, but I haven't watched it. But I recognize him from something else. I'm not sure what it is.
The Rum Diaries, Contraband, Avatar, Public Enemies, Flight of the Phoenix, Sky Captain World Tomorrow, Love Brothers, Cold Mountain, I Love Your Work, Lost in Translation, Heaven, According to Spencer, Gone in 60 Seconds, Spoiler Room, It's the Rage.
Oh, Gone in 60 Seconds. He plays Nick Cage's little brother.
Kip Raines.
Does he play the brain? Yep. God, I love Gone in 60 Seconds. Correct answer. He played a cardiologist. Doug, bring it home before we rant about something that is not related to Friends again.
All right, last one. What's Ursula's middle name? Who is Phoebe's sister? And I love how they did this. That Phoebe was Phoebe's sister Ursula. That Ursula was on a different show. The character Ursula, and to match the filming, because they were like, oh, people are gonna be like, oh, why is Lisa Kudrow in 2 shows? They were like, oh, well, Phoebe's twin will be showing up or whatever.
Interesting. So, does Lisa Kudrow have a twin, or is that Phoebe?
No, it's Lisa Kudrow twice.
She was also playing in a different. Okay.
She was in another. It was a hospital show. What?
Okay. Good to know.
She was in Seinfeld
Oh, really? That's interesting.
as a doctor or something like that. So
Ah, cool. Things you learn. Mick Ursula face. So far, my favorite answer. Joey Tribba Bunghole coming in strong. I should have known with a name like that. I do believe that I'm gonna have to get that message that I requested. Yeah, absolutely. I sent them a private message on Twitch for Ponster Bong, so that they could hopefully get their credit, because they by and far ran away with it.
if not,
No offense to anyone that's wagering in this round. If not, we're gonna withhold the. I'm gonna withhold the gift card for at least a day.
yeah.
Personally.
Whoever comes in second place, we'll give you the ability to contact us.
Yeah. And we'll hold on to your information, and yeah.
We'll give you a prize. You'll get a prize regardless.
Yay!
Just
Prizes.
Just not first place prize.
Not the mega prize.
If Transponster Bong answers, but
We'll see what happens.
we'll call it. Let's say COB tomorrow.
Okay. What's the correct answer on the final question, Doug?
That'd be Pamela.
It was Pamela. Scores are released. Let's see a scoreboard.
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 Man, that team made a massive
Yeah,
catch-up.
they were insane.
So, temporary second place, April and Sean and Shell, 134. Ross Champs, 117. Regina Phalange, 76. Princess Bunghola, Banana Hammock, 74. Monica Geller, Binghole, 68. Joey Tribby Bunghole, 59. Officer Good Bodies, Last Dance, 47.49. 9th place, the one where they play trivia, 47.18. Banana Hammock, 30. Chandler's a Girl, 28. Chandler Binghole, 26.73. Bunghole Perk, 26.62. And Not Ratchum, 6.
So, April and Sean and Shell, I have just sent a link in Twitch for our Discord. Please join our Discord. Send Sarge a message, regardless of what happens with Transponder Bong. If they respond, they'll get a first place gift card, but I'm not seeing anything currently, nor have I seen them join Discord. So if you'll join Discord and send me a private message, you are entitled to compensation for your correct answers, and we will get that to you.
So much
ASAP.
So much compensation.
So much compensation.
With that, we're
Please
going to
do
call
that.
it a night. Thank you all so much for playing. I think this is the most people we've had watching or playing in a long time. We will be back next Thursday with general trivia. We will also release what our next month's theme is going to be next week. So, I'm going to get
This is
ahead
the
of
general strategy. What are you thinking?
I'm going to get ahead of this. Like, we're
Okay.
obviously we're a couple months out, obviously, but Thanksgiving week we're not gonna be doing it. Just putting that out there right now, because Thanksgiving's on Thursday, and I'd rather watch football than
Thank you for that.
than host trivia. But thank you for Dad. We had a blast hosting. We will be back next week. Same time, same place, Thursday, 7 p.m. on Twitch. We will catch you all.
Yeah. We will catch you all. We appreciate y'all. We love you all. Like he said, 7 p.m. next Thursday. You all were great. And next week we will probably not ramble as much. Nah.
But
We'll drink shots and it'll be great.
Yeah.
Have a good night, everybody. We love you all.
Catch you in Discord to play games. Good night. Cheers.